Like, it's still blowing my mind. Because the cable alone, $119.99 for just the USB cable. It comes in different types: USB-A, USB-C, USB-B, micro USB pump, still. Like, is it gold plated, like diamonds and stuff? Is it those kinds of USB cables? But no, it's not. The twist here is it's a cyber security tool. Almost said security. It's a cyber security tool used by top level hackers, and it looks just like the USB that we both use. Just like this. It's same. It's just a cable. But is it really just a cable? Of course not. So first I'll read the facts and then I'll break it down for us. So yes, it was launched at the DEF CON. The cable contains a small network access point through which the attacker accesses the connected device. Now this is mind-blowing because that small network access point has a Wi-Fi chip built into it. Now to break it down, this thing has a hotspot, and so as soon as you connect it to wherever, maybe the brick, or if you call it adapter, whatever, or maybe into your laptop, and then you connect it to your phone to charge, once the connection has been established, you can go to your Wi-Fi and you see, but you will not know that that device is the cable. That hotspot you see is the cable itself. You won't know. And so the attacker will now, use his laptop to activate his Wi-Fi settings and just connect to the network. The cable's network. The cable itself has a network. That's mind-blowing. And once the hacker has access to that cable, he now has access to anything and everything you are doing on your device. That's just one use. 2, yes, easy web interface over Wi-Fi, and it leans on the first point because once he accesses it through the Wi-Fi, he now can use any browser at all to enter a particular terminal or a particular web interface and code away. And it's actually easy to use. I haven't used it, but it's easy to use per some of the images I've seen. It looks like it has a nice interface. 3, customizable self-destructor. Did I say destructor? Customizable self-destruct. Now when I hear this, self-destruct, what else could it mean? Like, it blows up, doesn't it? But I realized, no, it doesn't. If it did, it would be a hazard, serious one at that. It won't be available to the public since it has that blowing up element in it. It could even be a weapon. But what it means by the self-destruct, it has the ability to completely wipe all the software or all the instructions on it off. So let me try and use clear English. What this means is, if I realize there's a threat, I as the hacker realize, no, this guy seems he's on to me, or he just got up to leave and I can't follow him to go where he's going, and when he leaves he'll be out of my range and there's nothing I can do. Once I realize that in advance, I can enter my web browser, that web interface, key in a command to completely wipe out any trace that cable was being used for that nefarious purpose. And so if the person I was targeting were to say go to a tech expert, perhaps a cybersecurity expert, to just take a look at the cable, he won't find anything unless perhaps the hardware itself will sell it out. But if he doesn't actually dissect it to look at the hardware itself and just runs a test, a software test using whatever tools he has, he won't be able to identify that cable as a special cable because of that self-destruct feature. That self-destruct feature also allows you to, in a sense, disconnect the cable's data lines, and that will make it look like a broken cable, like the cable is not working anymore. So the target will just throw it away or dispose of it because, well, it's not working. But you made it that way. So once it's done, you can just pick it up, reconnect it, since, well, it's very expensive. It's $119. That's very expensive USB cable. You can't afford to just throw it away. Point number, I think 4. Yep. Point number 4 is it runs scripts remotely on the devices connected to it. Now, this carries weight once you tie it to the next point, which is key logging, and this means it allows key loggers to track every keystroke made by the user. And what this means is, once the hacker has connected to your device through the cable over the Wi-Fi connection, he can then take note of all your keystrokes, any and everything you type from the time you connect the cable. He can pick it up easily, and those include Wi-Fi passwords. Yes, Wi-Fi passwords, possibly general passwords, login details. You can pick everything. If you switch off the device and try to access it again whilst the cable is connected, and you have to type in your password, he has got that as well. Not to be safe. You're texting someone, he's reading along with you. You are not safe. And once there's key logging, there's also, the, what I call it, ability, more like the feature that enables the attacker to inject keystrokes or keyboard commands, and that allows him to be able to launch apps, download malware, and steal your saved Chrome passwords. So you realize that, especially in the movies, you can connect some gadgets to the laptop, and suddenly a hacker has connected to the device remotely, and apps are opening, things are being typed, so many things are happening on the screen, and all of that is happening remotely. That is the hacker injecting keystrokes, entering commands, and in a sense logging into your device remotely and taking control over it. So imagine, with just one cable, you are allowing someone else to run scripts remotely on your device. You're allowing the person to activate key logging features, which means he can read everything you type with your device, and he can also inject keystrokes with that device. And we didn't even mention stealing data. That's like the basics, the 101 when it comes to hacking. It's all about taking your data, and all of that in just a simple looking cable. I mean, this is fake. This is too long to be an actual cable. But then again, isn't it mind blowing? Isn't it mind blowing? Who knows? Maybe you could get one of these days. But it's highly unlikely that someone will buy just to hack you. Most of the hackers are, well, I'm not dissing anyone, but low-grade hackers like myself, most low grade. I mean, we can't afford to go this big. So it's mostly for companies, red teams. I think that's what they are called. They're hired by organizations to test their systems. It's mostly people like that and white hat hackers who would actually go out to purchase something like this, and they only target high profile clients. Or do I even call them clients? More like high profile people. So, well, if you're not high profile, you don't need to worry. If your friend like, oh Charlie, if you use my channel, say, no bro, but if you're trying to hack me, it's highly unlikely. I hope you learned something new. I had fun researching this, and I hope you had fun learning as well.